I truly hope all of you do remember to fill the feedback form and submit them. That's how you can win yourself some very exciting gift vouchers. For now, we are all set to bring to you our closing remarks on the evolving landscape of supply chain 4.0, the present and future for the ecosystem. And it is such a delight to present to you Mr. Anil Shipley, Executive President and Chief Supply Chain Officer, Polycab India. We welcome you, sir, and we are excited to learn from you.
Thank you so much for those kind words. I have been allotted about 15 minutes and I complete within 4 slides. And coming at the end of the session, it becomes a little difficult how to speak so that it actually captures the spirit of the event. So I'll make an attempt. Supply chain has, as a subject or as a department, has never been sharper. Today, the customer centricity we are looking for goes beyond what we have experienced in the future. Everything that we do in a company has to be customer centric. What do the customers require these days? They want global. They would like to pick up an item from anywhere. It doesn't matter whether it is available in the local space or where it is. They would like to be connected all the time. And in all their devices, you must have the options to display your products. It must have all the details that you can think of, or a customer wants. It must have all the options. The customers must have all the options. And it must be quick as well. And it must give him the flexibility to put the time of service when he wants the service, how long the service could be, what should be the quality of the service. And the customer should have all the control as well. Mind you, not on a particular time or day. It has to be 24/7. And what is the level we are talking about? Gold standards, 99.999 and so have you. That sort of service level we are looking at. All of this with complete transparency and be ready to take all the feedback. In fact, the customer is today ready to collaborate with you to improve the service further. Does it look like an impossible list? On the first sight, yes, it looks like an impossible list. But it is not so. What can make this happen? I'll illustrate with an example. The key enablers of all this, what we do, can be through digitalization, the big data and analytics. And I will take an example to show how. We at Polycab, we started this exercise about a couple of years ago. And the idea was not to work to a plan. See, most of us are very used to working to a plan, to a forecast, and long-term planning and buying ahead. Today, and more so in the current changing times where you've seen with COVID things closing down, opening, and all the changes which are happening in the market, you do not have luxury of long-term planning. You have to build systems which are rapid reactive system to the customer needs. Your system should be so agile that it can change, adapt. So we have to fill systems. And a very simplistic example I'm giving you what we do. Look at the scenario in which Polycab works. It has about 25 manufacturing units. It has about 45 warehouses and depots across the country and a few lakh distributors across the country. In this scenario, number of SKUs which we deal with are 8,000. If you multiply and do the math, the combination will run in millions. To be able to provide immediate service, to be able to provide immediate product as and when required, you need a system which is quick reacting and adapting. And that's what we did. Right from the raw material, if you see the left side, the raw material, right from the raw material to the plant feeding to the central warehouse feeding to the depots, and depots going to the distributors, and finally to the customers. They are all linked. That means if the customer consumes a particular unit, same information will travel back, and the same raw material will be bought, and the same item will be made in the plant, and it will all go from one to the next. That means we do not work to a forecast. There's no forecast required. What we need is the interconnected system, and I have some items displayed at my warehouse. From there, the customer can draw himself anytime, any item. The moment he draws an item, a back order goes to the previous link and it moves. And all this is automated. There can be no people sitting here and deciding what to do or what not to do. It has to be automated, and this is where digitalization and all this comes into being. The second most important thing about this is if you have to achieve that sort of a customer centricity, you need each and every member of the team totally aligned to this cause. That means each and every one must have the same objective, same direction, and same priorities. That means you need to have the same priority system. And that we have enabled by having some color coding. So, and the colors which you see, a small triangle and 3 colors on the screen, actually these are the priority system. Anything which is green, not so important. Red, most important. Yellow, in between. So anything which is in red, you're supposed to manufacture. Any item which is in red, you're supposed to manufacture. Any raw material in red, you're supposed to buy. Any item in the depot short in red, you're supposed to transfer. So everybody works on the same, absolutely the same priority. And this is the key. And this, you cannot do it manually. It has to be digitized. It has to be automated. Not that we have been able to do everything. We have started this journey. We have been able to digitize all our backends. Now we are in the process of digitizing our front ends. That means we are going to connect all our distributors and distributors, sub-distributors, tertiaries, and all of those, and backwards all our suppliers in the end. Once we have a connected system like this, it is possible to achieve that sort of customer centricity and that sort of customer service that we look forward to or we aspire to be. What do we need for that from a company? What do we need for this? So the enabler is the mindset has to be human-centric. We have to think of how a customer thinks. What could be his inconveniences? And what is the goal we have? As I said, it has to be an agile system, responsive. And these targets are not fixed targets. These have to be on a continuous improvement path. What you did last month is not good enough today. We talk about competition. Actually, you don't need to benchmark any competition. All that you need to do is to benchmark your own self and do a little better than what you did yesterday. If you go on that pace, no competition in the world can catch you. What about data? The data also has to be customer-centric. Systems, all systems connected, digitalized. And what sort of service level asking? Again, I say 9 or service. Each of the customer deserves to be served at home. That means you need to have a reach to the furthest customer. Think of ways how to reach the last customer in the cities, beyond the cities, suburban, villages, anywhere. If you see there's 741 districts in the country. Are we mapped? The pie is really unlimited. You do not need to compete with anyone. You need to compete with your own reach and range. And once you do that, the volume, the business, what you can think of is huge. Each and every person which joins the company must come with this mindset. The people I select in my company must have this mindset of serving the customer. And any new person who comes should be a person who should improve my service level. If each and every member of the team thinks, breathes customer, you can imagine what the result could be. What enables all this? Your orientation, your attitude, and most of all, the enabler, as I said, is your digitalization, connecting end to end. Every action that you do today or anywhere, it has both positive and negative impacts in the system. You evaluate that before you take action. Think bold. Think customer, all that, how to improve the service even better. You may be 99.9, but that's not the limit. It can go much more. How it can go much more when you're 99.9%? Because you're going to explore many more avenues to add value. In that particular location, in that particular item set, in that particular segment, it could be 99, but there are hundreds of applications which you can think of. So if you are looking at the customer service, if you're looking at the supply chain of the future, there is only one word: customer-centric. And what enables it? Digitalization, connecting end-to-end, and coming with an attitude to bend backward for your customers and do the impossible. That's all that I had to say. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Thank you so very much, sir. How very rightly put by you. It's time that we bend backwards for our customers, making sure that customers are getting the very best that they deserve, and making sure that we increase our reach to the very last customer. What beautiful words to end a day like this. It's been a pleasure having you here with us. We thank you for your time. And at this point, I'd also like to thank our audience members for being so interactive, for being such an active part of this very, very interactive digital platform. May I once again humbly request all of you to please fill up the feedback forms and submit them, because that's how we get to know how excited you were for all our sessions, our speakers, how it was a learning experience. A big thank you to all of you, and a big thank you to our partners, our presenting partner, Intel Plus Oracle, our co-presenting partner, JP Morgan. I'd also like to thank our co-powered by partner, Brilio and Connect, our cybersecurity partner, Process IT Global, our gold partner, Clear, from the makers of ClearTax, our associate partners, HCL Technologies and Goldstone Technology. Do visit our partners in the partner booths to connect with them. I'd also like to encourage you to join us in our startup zone with our startup partners, Quedgenics, Verfin Tech, SatSure, Jal Technologies Prakriti, YCLEPP4E Labs, and let me also thank our knowledge partners, Deloitte. The summit, of course, has been brought to you by ETH Unwired on behalf of the entire team of ETH. This is Isha Bhalla signing off on a very, very high note indeed. Please do continue with your presence in the Experience Zone to network from peers from the industry. Thank you for joining us.